Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Crew First Culture podcast. This is Jeremy. Thank you again for joining me today. I really appreciate that time. So, just jumping right into another kind of an excerpt or whatever you want to call it, just a section of thoughts that I've written down, and I guess you'd call it a journal. It's more of a notebook, journal, whatever. But so, this is what it says. Becoming the best version of yourself isn't always just about addition, such as adding value to yourself, learning, growing, and gaining better self awareness. Subtraction is also required. For example, removing our masks, breaking down our defensive walls, and overcoming the fear of other people's opinions. Only by adding and subtracting will we be able to become the truest, most transparent, and authentic version of ourselves. Vulnerability is the link that so many people overlook. This is a this is another one of those kind of those thoughts that I get that I have to write them down right then because if if I didn't write that down, I would 4 hours later never be able to word it that way that that it just flowed out at that original time. And so that's how I ended up with so many notebooks if you were listening to the last episode. But this is something that I think I just had to realize, and I as I read it again, several times, it seems pretty elementary. Oh yeah, you gotta take away the bad stuff and add the good stuff. But I just feel like maybe it was just my focus, but I always focused on me being better and me being the best version of myself is all about what I can add, adding all of these things, getting better habits, learning more, you know, gaining more humility or more patience. I just felt like adding was how I accomplished that. And so this time period that this thought came out, it it was pretty it was pretty impactful to me to sit and think about, man, if I'm just adding more to me, well, there's a lot of parts about me and what I'm doing and flaws of my character or whatever you want to call them that need to be addressed too. It's the just like I said, the removing of our mask, being a different me than I am with other people or whatever. And the walls, we all have walls. Some are much more prominent than others. Some are, you know, like the Great Wall of China. It's something that is going to take a lot of work to bring down. But we can't we can't ever get to that best version of ourselves if we have these walls built up inside of us that are keeping things segregated and separated from each other. We have to have that free flowing emotion and vulnerability. And the last one that I put on there is a big one. And the I'm trying to think, I've already forgot his name, but read a book over this and talks a lot about the fear of other people's opinions. And I believe I might have even addressed it a while back on an episode. But just think about how much that one thing affects you. Some people might say I have nothing in me that cares what other people think, and that's great if that's you. But there are so many people out there that really, really struggle with this. Like this is the biggest thing in their life that really eats up at them. It eats away their ability to push themselves farther, because they're always scared about what other people are thinking. They don't want to put themselves out there. They don't want to really show the world how amazing they are because they're afraid of what other people are going to say or think. So I I actually recorded an episode back in, I guess it was end of July ish, that just never put out because I didn't feel like it was worthy of putting out. But in that, I kind of addressed some of this mindset, and we had a student, or really a couple students, in one of our 24-hour resiliency classes that, man, they were amazing. I don't know them personally, but what I saw of them personally are some amazing people. Their perseverance through our class was amazing, absolutely. Their work ethic in that time frame, their ability to just get things done no matter what the stress level was, and to take in what they were being taught and use it right there. These were amazing people. But you could tell they had no self-confidence. They they didn't believe in themselves enough to be okay with that. That they weren't okay with who they were because they didn't have that. They were worried about other people's opinions. What would people think of me if I'm out there, you know, doing the job better than them? Yeah, that sounds goofy to some people, but to others, that's a real issue that they struggle with. And to one of them, I literally, I don't remember exactly how I worded it, but I literally told her that, you know, when are you going to start believing that you are as amazing as you are? I see through this. Stop acting like you're not. I was halfway joking when I said that, obviously, but there's a lot of seriousness to that. Stop allowing whatever it is that's holding you back and start being the amazing person that you are, the amazing firefighter that you are, the amazing parent that you are, whatever it is. We can't allow those things to hold us back. Life's hard enough with, everything that we face. We can't make it harder by, you know, holding our own character back, holding our own abilities back. We can't put handcuffs on ourselves. So that was something that, man, it was awesome for me to see. The people that don't have any self-confidence, but they probably know their abilities are really good, but they won't let themselves believe it. But then you surround them with people on their side, and really making sure that they know how great they're doing, and how great they are. And it doesn't take long for them to start believing it. And then the potential just blows through the roof. And so it really opens your eyes to see how easy it is to help people. It costs nothing. It Sometimes it barely takes any time, but just just helping somebody just a little bit makes a huge difference. And so when I talk about this topic, that just comes to mind. People that are allowing outside things to hold them back. And so I want to read this again just to kind of bring it home, and make sure that you really heard the thought behind it. Becoming the best version of ourselves isn't always just about addition, such as adding value to yourself, learning, growing, and gaining better self awareness. Subtraction is also required. For example, removing our mask, breaking down our defensive walls, and overcoming the fear of other people's opinions. Only by adding and subtracting will we be able to become the truest, most transparent, and authentic version of ourselves. Vulnerability is the link that so many people overlook. And I think, you know, I hope that there's not many people out there that aren't interested in growing and learning and becoming better every day. I think that for the most part, most people will say that, yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are kind of like we talked about last episode, or they're finding excuses why they can't do it. But that the last section of that statement is really important. It's not about just being a more successful version of myself, a more gaining more achievements and followers and whatever. That's not what it's about. The truest, most transparent and authentic version of ourselves. That's what we need to be trying to find, because that is the person that is going to make a difference in the world. It's not the person that, I put this persona on and I gain so many more followers and this and that. No, it's this person right here is the person that we were placed here to be. And so we need to find that person, because that is us. That is who I really am. Anything outside of this blueprint right here is not officially me. I want to strive and hunt for the truest, most transparent, most authentic version of myself. And that is only going to come with rule number one: vulnerability, humility, and vulnerability for sure. But it's got to come with adding good, valuable things and subtracting the negative things that eat away at progress. And so that's it. That's all I got to say. I hope that something I said kind of strikes something in you, makes you think, makes you kind of reflect on things. Never underestimate the power of reflection, man. The I can't tell you how many times important lessons have just come to me because I took the time to reflect on something that, if I didn't take that time, would probably have never happened. It's so important. Spend some time with yourself thinking through things. If you got questions that you need answers to, or if you have a big decision coming up, or you just are feeling off, have some quiet time, reflect on what's going on, and figure it out. You'll get the answers, but it takes some work. So thank you. Look forward to seeing you next time. And remember, no matter what or where you came from, great things can come from you. Thank you all.